Hey friends, Alex Fisher, Golf Tips Magazine Top 25 Teachers. In this video, we're going to talk about how to control your trajectory around the greens with your pitch shots. So stick around and we show you a couple of my secret tips that will get you stopping the ball really quick on the green and just having way more fun with your pitch shots. Okay, so let's get to it. So how can we control our trajectory around the greens when it comes to pitch shots? Well, there's differing opinions out there on how to do that. Some people believe that if you move the ball from the back of the stance, middle of the stance, and the front of the stance, that can definitely change your trajectory. And I totally agree. I think that's a great idea and a great way of doing that. The issue with that though is that you're changing the low point in the swing. And when you start to change the ball position within your stance, I personally feel like that's a lot harder to be precise when it comes to impact itself. So what I'm going to suggest is this. We're going to make just a couple of little adjustments from a chipping setup where the ball would normally be in the center of our stance with a chip. We're going to do exactly the same thing. Instead of having your feet so close together, we're just going to widen them just a touch, but it's really important that we still have a weight on our front foot. Now, from there, we're just going to go ahead and change the placement of our hands as well. We're just going to go ahead and bring the hands a little bit more towards the top of the grip. Gives us a little bit more speed, gives us a little bit more leverage through impact. It makes it a little bit easier for us to make a bigger swing. But then what we're going to do is this. We're not going to open the face at address, because I've seen that in the past where somebody will open the club face, and what they'll do is they'll start off with the ball in the center of the face, and then they'll go ahead and open the face up and start leading with a hosel. And we see a lot of shanks when people do that. What we're going to do is we're going to manipulate the club face as we take the golf club back. So normally as you take the golf club back, we would see that you would take the golf club back and your trailing hand will be on top of the handle as you're going back. That's going to go ahead and turn that club face down. Okay, nothing wrong with that, but it is taking some of the loft away from the golf club. And if I take that golf club back and then keep my trailing hand on top as I come through, it's not going to go left, but it's going to have more of that low penetrating rolling shot. So that's all good and well if you're in a situation where you don't need to get the ball up in the air super quick. But instead of doing that, what we're going to do is we're going to do the opposite with the trailing hand. So what I want you to do is start to kind of get the feeling of actually supinating or rotating that forearm open as you're going back and getting your trailing hand underneath like so. So you can see how that would affect the club face of this part here. Now the face is more open. That's great doing that on the way back, but you need to make sure that you keep that position with your hand all the way through impact. If I open that face on the way back, but then I rotate it going forward, then obviously I'm just defeating the purpose of actually opening the face in the first place. So what I want to do here is I want to go ahead, take it back and get that feeling of that face fanning open, but then from here, keep my hand underneath, and you'll notice as I come through that the toe of the club is actually staying on the right side of the shaft of the golf club. So if I do that in this situation here and keep that face open, I'm really trying to utilize the back of the sole as much as I can. It might feel a little bit more clunky just because there's more mass hitting the ground. But what I'm doing is I'm using more of the bounce of the club, and I'm really kind of keeping that face open as much as I can coming through. Obviously, when you do that, you need to make a bigger swing, maybe swing just a little bit faster as well. But you'll find that as you hit that shot, it's going to come off the face a lot higher and land a lot softer. So you're probably already doing this to a certain extent when you're hitting pitch shots already, but just being aware of how you're using that trailing hand on the way back and then maintaining it through impact, you'll be able to start to really kind of play around with the trajectories a little bit, hit some high shots, get it to stop quick, but also get it to go low as well and run out. It really is a nifty way of just being able to control your trajectory around the green. So try that out. Guarantee you're going to have way more fun and be more creative around the greens, and I guarantee your scores are going to improve. Thanks for checking out this video.